This edition of the Rhode Island Spotlight is made possible by the Washington Trust Company, a proud supporter of the St. Anthony Kitchen Ministry. Thanksgiving is still 11 days away, but on this Sunday in November, you'd never know it, looking at the feast being served in the parish center at St. Anthony's Church in North Providence. More than 125 people, many from Providence taking buses provided by the church, will get a meal any chef would be proud to serve. They'll also get to take some home to tide them over for another meal or two. It's all part of the St. Anthony's Kitchen Ministry, which will celebrate its 25th anniversary early next year.
When you give, you can't stop giving. You never run out.
Father Edward Cardenti took over as priest at St. Anthony's in the late 1980s. Within 2 years, he had erased a $150,000 deficit and eventually raised more than $1 million to build a much-needed parish center at a church that was desperate for space. When it was paid off in 1994, Cardenti had a message for the congregation at the time.
Now it's time for us to give back. We have this beautiful facility. What do we want to do? We have a beautiful kitchen. So we said, well, let's have a dinner for the hungry, for the poor, for the homeless.
A one-time meal in early 1995 evolved into what the kitchen ministry is today, a twice-a-month event with dozens of volunteers, contributions of food from a variety of businesses, and monetary support from church members and non-parishioners alike.
Never envisioned it would come this long. I'm thankful that it did. I never dreamed that it would get this, we'd be here this many years.
Gloria Mamus and her husband Jerry picked up the baton and oversaw the ministry for years. Gloria, at age 91, has handed off leadership to her daughter, Michelle Diorio, but still shows up occasionally to help. And there she was at the beginning of the serving line for the Thanksgiving meal, dishing out turkey.
Every time I come, I'm surprised that they all, where have you been and why haven't you been here? And they're very gracious people. They're humble. They appreciate it. They say thank you every time they go by us. We've never had a problem.
Preparations on the first and third Sunday of the month begin around 9 a.m. when Diorio and another volunteer, David DeSantis, arrive at the parish center's well-equipped kitchen to get to work. DeSantis began volunteering after his wife became ill, and Diorio, a neighbor, helped the family and told him about the kitchen ministry. Now he is one of the main cooks. On this Sunday, he's called in his son Mike to help out, as they're expecting nearly 125 on what has become one of the more popular meals of the year. It will include turkey and potatoes, stuffing, vegetables, and cranberry sauce, and a host of pastries and desserts to eat and take home. As the morning progresses, more volunteers arrive, and 2 teenagers from the church's confirmation class show up to help prepare trays. It is a family affair, as DeSantis' grandchildren and Diorio's daughter also pitch in to help. For DeSantis, though, it goes well beyond the meal.
First thing I ask them is, like this time of the year, are you warm? You have a coat? You have shoes, good shoes? You know, and sometimes they say no. So we take care of it.
Just the children is the most impactful part all the time. And the fact that they walk in the door for the majority of times and know exactly what to do. Like, this is not their first time at the rodeo. You know, they walk in and it's like second nature to them to be in a food kitchen.
What hurts the most is you see the kids. You know, you see the kids come through the line, and we always have a little something special for them, whether it's a toy or a box of cupcakes, just to make them feel at ease when they come through the door.
DeSantis was surprised by something he noticed one of the first times he volunteered.
How comfortable the people were coming through the door. You know, and Michelle said to me, you know, if they come through our door, we feed them. We don't judge them.
I always tell Father Ed I have more time than I have money, so I'll help out. And I truly believe and not just here but everywhere, it's so much more impactful to give your time than your money. Anyone can write a check and put $10, $20 in an envelope and send it off to a charity somewhere. But when you're actually face to face and standing 2 feet away from somebody who's standing in line to get a dish of pasta, that's pretty impactful.
That extra meal, it just helps. You know, you and I, you know, we get an electric bill and it might be, you know, $20 more than it was last month. And, you know, we just go with the flow. But that's monumental to those people.
For a couple of hours, you've changed their life. And it just is what it is, you know. But for the grace of God, I could be on the other side of that table. Why are they there and I'm not? Why am I on one side of the table and they're on there? I think about that a lot.
There's a quote from Anne Frank: "No one is ever poor from giving." You know, and there's a lot of truth to that. So we give, even though sometimes we don't have, we continue to give, and we're provided for.
Cardenti says he is amazed, but not surprised, that the ministry continues to thrive with volunteers and support, sometimes from unexpected places.
When you're doing God's work, it's obvious. The light shines in the darkness, and that's what darkness is. What we're facing now is a hunger, homelessness, you know, poverty. And the message is, you know, when you give and you put others first, it's love. That's what love is. We keep doing it. We keep doing it because we know, hopefully, other people will it'll catch on, other parishes will do what we're doing, and people see the church in a different light. Now, most of the people we serve here, they're not Roman Catholics, you know, so some of them have no religion, but they know they experience a little love and understanding and acceptance. We treat them with respect. You know, I watch the volunteers here, like Dave will go out and run out and get a coat for somebody if somebody needs a coat. No other places do that, you know. So we go the extra mile, and God always provides. And that's the message, a message of hope that people are good.
In North Providence, Jim Hummel for the Rhode Island Spotlight.
Thank you, you too.